All right, we are officially live here, it seems. So, what's going on, YouTube? We're gonna allow everybody to get on here over the next several minutes. All right, we got Natalia already dropping some comments. Looking good, looking good. What's up, guys? Let's get it, man. Let's get it. All right, all right, all right. I'm just curious now if the link from the scheduled live session is
Okay.
yeah, you see it's not the same as the scheduled one. Yeah, it's not the same. So I'm gonna have to delete that one. All right, cool. Yeah, so we are getting used to transitioning over to YouTube Live. When we do it on Zoom, guys, um, it kind of changes the way we do the streaming as far as how we can schedule it ahead of time and whatnot. So uh, we know now going forward, at least for the time being, we won't be able to schedule them. But as you guys can see, if you just tune into the channel right at our time, we should be good to go. So with that said, let's not waste any time. Let's get straight into it. I see that we got everybody here on the chat. So we'll be here over the next almost 60 minutes for another edition of Sunday Market Outlook. Remember, guys, we have a special giveaway. If we hit 300 on the live, we will be giving away a funded challenge account. I know that we had our winner from last time for hitting 200. So again, if you guys want to try your luck at getting one of these accounts, let's make sure that we continue to spread the word and pump it up. I don't think we've ever had 300 on the Sunday Market Outlooks, but we've gotten very close in the past. So I think it's a doable goal for sure if you guys really, really want it. But regardless if we hit the goal or not today, we are here to give you guys value, make sure that we are ready to go for another week in the markets. I got my co-host, Mr. Brent Badal, in the building. So appreciate you, Brent, bro, for always taking time out of your day to be here with us. And I know you usually kick us off with the fundamentals, so I'm gonna pass the mic to you, my brother, so we can get this thing going. Appreciate you,
Of
bro.
course, bro. Thank you. Thank you. Of course, it's been a pleasure to run these Sunday Outlook calls here now for a minute. It's been amazing to give the knowledge that we've been giving, sharing that with everybody and seeing the outcomes, right? That's super happy. That's really what pays us, right? Because it's not that like anybody's pay us, but what pays us is to be able to see like, man, thanks to last Sunday Outlook call, I was able to do X, Y, Z, and this is the results of the end of the week, right? That's what really pays at the end of the day. So please, guys, make sure you guys are continuing to do stuff, tap in, and share the value of these calls, right? Of course, if we hit 300, you get a little bit of extra something, something. Last session, we did the same thing. So, hey, it's a win-win situation. But we're going to go ahead, talk about the news. We have a packed week of news that we have to talk about and see how we can maximize this because last week was really good. I was really happy last week with the results that we had. If you could give me that permission, please, sir. We'll go ahead and share that. Boom, thank you very much. All right, cool. So let's get to it. So as you guys can see here on my screen, we are looking at news. So we're going to go ahead and step a little bit back. Cool. Today's Sunday. As we know, we really are looking at NAS 100. Sometimes we'll drop into some gold if there's anything really major that we're looking at, but more than anything, we are just looking at NAS. So yes, you might see some news of some Forex pairs, majors, minors that might be interesting. We're not looking at those, right? So pertaining to NAS 100, we don't have anything to worry about on a Sunday. Most of the times that's how it is. Tomorrow, Monday. So tomorrow, Monday, we have a bank holiday. It's President's Day. So here in the US, it's a bank holiday. For those that have brokers, prop firms, this, that, you really need to reach out to your broker and just ask them. I mean, if your broker doesn't have a chat, that should be a red flag right away. If your prop firm doesn't have a chat, you should probably be looking for another one. So go to the chat of your broker, your prop firm, and just say, hey, like, what are the rules for tomorrow? Can I trade? Can I not trade? Because it really just depends on those, right? I know that tomorrow I'll be looking for a trade or two on a specific broker. I won't on the other because I could breach rules. So just make sure you go and do that as well. Now, tomorrow, we have the news that's running. And typically when we have these type of holidays, you'll see only a portion of the day, right? So the majority of it, let me see, I had it here in my notes really quick. Let me go ahead and check here. One quick second, guys. I had it on my notes. Here, here, media, right here. So like the majority of the brokers, right? They will close early Monday at noon Central Standard Time, but then they'll reopen at that market open at 5. So I'm not saying that yours will be like that, but the majority Monday, Sunday, the market will open today, later tonight. It'll be open all the way through. It shuts down at noon Central Standard Time, and it doesn't open until 5 Central as normal. But again, just reach out to your brokers for that. After 5, we have a couple of FOMC speakers. We should see some movement there. Then we head into Tuesday. So Tuesday, we're going to have some activity right away because we have President Trump speaking. He's been speaking already 2, 3 times. This is great for what we do because it's a lot of volatility. It's a lot of movement in the market. And a lot of what he's speaking is actually like disclosing a lot of information that's actually moving the market or putting out some new like regulation, tariff, stuff like that, where it's almost like unexpected and it just moves the market heavily. So that's good that that's happening. And the time is pretty good because it's happening at 1. So kind of when everything starts dying down, we'll get a big movement. We'll get a big rush around that time at 1, which is awesome because there's really nothing much going on. There is Empire State Manufacturing. This one's good to look at, the NAHB housing market index. So this one here is going to be really key because as we know, housing is a leading indicator for recession. Previous was negative 12%. We're looking at this one to be negative 1%. A big shift. This is good for the US dollar, good for the US economy. So not that I'm looking to trade this at 9 o'clock in the morning Central Standard Time, but I'm really interested in the data that comes out, right? Now, that's Tuesday. Wednesday, we go to FOMC meeting minutes. Meeting minutes is just speaking about what happened on the last time. This happens at 1. Weird time. Cool. I'll run with it. 7:30 a.m. We don't have nothing there, but we have some good housing information again. That's it. Really not too much, right? Jefferson speaking. It's not the Jefferson Santos that we know. Shout out Santos. So we're really not going to look at that one. If it was his, we'll probably go into the trading. But this Jefferson, we're not really worried about. Cool. Whatever. Skip it. Thursday. So Thursday here now is probably one of my favorite days just because of the time. I'm excited for when Trump speaks at 1 Central Standard Time because we get a big move, but I'm a little bit more excited on Thursday because at 7:30 Central Standard Time, we know that the market likes to move. Gold and Nasdaq both like to make a little impulse at that time, and then an hour later, we have our opening bell. Perfect time to have unemployment claims, Philly Fed. Love it. 7:30, big movement, opening bell. We run through the rest of the day. Crude oil, we've been paying attention to that. A couple more FOMC speakers, we're done. So I like Thursday based off the time of when we're seeing this. And then Friday, we close out the week. So I'm not a huge fan of trading Fridays. Most likely, I will be doing a bonus session this Friday because I will not be live on Tuesday. So most likely, you will see me there Friday. If we see a trade, cool, we see it just because we do have some good movement. So at 8:45, we do have flash manufacturing, flash services. 9 o'clock, we have existing home sales, revive consumer sentiment, inflation. So we do have a set of good news to where the bonus session on Friday, most likely we will. And if not, where I'm really going to go over heavy is just speaking about RRs, the importance of risk reward. So it's definitely a bonus session that you guys are want to tap in. I will let you guys know as the week progresses exactly what time that will be Friday and if I will do that. But that's the news for the week. Excited, should be good. There's nothing really crazy times, nothing like that. So I'm good with it. We'll see here what's next, and we'll talk now about NAS.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Hey, real quick, let me get a W Valentin in the chat for the 3 super chat donation here. And let me also get a W Lisa for the $5 super donation here, guys. W Lisa, W Valentin Trading for that. Appreciate you guys so much. Okay, let's go. Another super chat, $9.99 from Melanie. Thank you, Melanie. Let's get a W Melanie in the chat as well. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Appreciate you guys so much, man. Super grateful for each and every single one of you guys. And Brent, appreciate you, bro, for breaking down the news here for everybody as we kick off brand new trading week. Definitely want to get into some charts here. So we're gonna go ahead and break down some NAS 100 here. So let's go ahead and share screen here. So if you guys can see my screen, let's go ahead and drop some ones in the chat so I know that we are good to go. But yeah, definitely a W for everybody that just had that super chat. Appreciate you guys so much. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right, so you guys should be able to see my screen. Now when it comes to NAS, you know that we had a very interesting Friday. I made a whole YouTube video about it because we got a little bit finessed with the stops before we ended up running up. But part of the game. If you guys watched the video, you guys already know my thoughts on that day. But if you guys look at the broker I'm currently looking at right now, FXCM, we are basically in all-time high territory for NAS 100. All right. And if you really look at how we closed off the week, we closed very strongly with a bullish candle on the weekly. So, the bullish perspective was definitely there. We could see a massive, accumulation type of schematic over the past couple weeks where we really were rejecting to the downside many times with all these daily wicks here. And so I expect more and more bullishness. Obviously, short term, we can always have our little, pushes back to the downside. We have some imbalance left behind, but there's nothing really that significant to me. As far as any reason for us to want to come down drastically, unless it's gonna be again just like a pullback, something short term, nothing very aggressive. So obviously we're gonna allow for a new range to form here for us to be able to look for opportunities. But overall, I expect a lot of bullishness. Again, right now there's nothing significant to the downside that makes me believe we want to come back down here for any reason right now. Maybe some of this imbalance from this area here, but for the most part, I would definitely be focused on buys. Now, in all-time high territory, I'm not really a fan of buying at all-time highs in general, but I think that the way that we closed on the daily and the way that we closed on the weekly is very telling that we're about to continue to blast off. At least the way I see it, that's what I'm getting. On the daily time frame, we do see a little bit of imbalance here. Basically from the low of Friday to the open of Thursday or the high of Thursday. So this range here between 21,960 to 21,790, that's our potential retracement area if we do get some short-term sells. But anything past that, I doubt we'll go lower as of right now. I think that if we go lower, it'll be somewhere to there, and we're going to continue to blast through all-time highs very aggressively the way that we closed the weekly candle. So that's really all the information I have for now. Again, there's nothing else that really stands out to me. We have very evenly balanced, good price action moving us forward with NAS as of right now from what I see. So from there, you guys know how the strategy goes. We're going to wait for our range to form and then look for our signature strategy. Now, there's something that I want to talk about here real quick, and I'm going to pass it to Brent for his analysis. And you guys are getting it exclusively here first on this live stream. But obviously, you guys know I've kind of, been using a couple different indicators, from the public libraries and teaching that. But I was working with Luisito. So if you guys know Luis, our educator in Akashex, Brent's mentor, this guy is also a coding phenom, and he actually built the Liberty indicator. Ooh, boy. Now, you guys are not going to be able to search it or find it right now. But because it's going through finalization of being accepted in TradingView community, and you know how all that goes. But we're gonna have a Liberty indicator. How lit is that? If you guys think that's lit, I need y'all to light it up in the chat, because I mean that's crazy, bro. That's really crazy. So that way we don't have to have a bunch of different indicators and all that. We'll be able to do everything with just one Liberty indicator. And so it's awesome, man. I'm very excited for it. super grateful to Brent and to Lewis. You know, if it wasn't for Brent's introduction, obviously, and getting Lewis in the platform, we wouldn't even know him. And then also, obviously, shout out to Lewis for taking the time to build this thing for the community. Couldn't have done it without him, obviously. So yes, guys, Liberty Indicator will be going live. You guys heard it here first. It's gonna be super dope, man. I just can't believe it, you know, like to have it here, actually say Liberty and everything is super cool. But yeah, man, that's what I got for Nas right now. I'm gonna let Brent give his perception of, you know, what he sees with Nas and everything. But yeah, let's keep it rocking.
Yo, ain't that sick, chat? That is just amazing. We got the Liberty scanner coming out here, the Liberty, as you know. So Rich and I, we've been saying this for the last, what, like 2 months? Like, hey guys, we got something for you. We got something for you. You guys were saying scanners, right? With indices, it's a little bit different. So obviously with Lewis, shout out to Lewis, we were able to go ahead and sit down with him, mastermind, and he was able to like, well, you know what? Why don't we just do it on TradingView? It'll be basically the same thing, right? So shout out to Liberty, of course. And of course, too, you guys have every single session, you guys ask me too, what indicator do you have, Brent? Why is it that it prints your support, your supply, your demand? Most likely by next Sunday, you'll be hearing something from me too. So you guys already know, right? You already guys know what it is. So what's you imagine NAS bros, and now you're gonna have two little indicators there. And I mean, what else do you guys want, bro? That's it. It's done. It's a wrap. That's it. So let me go ahead and share my screen here really quick. All right. Same situation. So for me with NAS, I think finally we're gonna hit our bull target that we've been just dying for to hit for the last 3 weeks. I've been calling this number out. Rich on his last trade alert, literally his TP4 was that number. Like we've been looking for this 22200 now for so freaking long, and it's so close to where it just depends how we open. That's all that's going to depend on how we open at that point. Are we going to open normal? Are we going to big drop and then go up? We're going to open up. It's just all in the opening. It's really going to depend how fast we touch it. And at the same time, so I have some levels of interest, right? So with NAS has to come down for it to go up. We know that every single time. Like literally, we're seeing it here in the chart. Goes up, comes down, goes up, comes up. Like nonstop. It's never just gonna go up, 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 up straight. It's just not going to. Even in a bull run that we see, it'll still channel and it'll continue going up. If it goes down, it'll channel every single time. We spoke about this. If you're not, you go watch my video, Understanding the Market. I speak about channels, right? And I explain that part. So it needs to come down to 22,100, right? That's a big area of interest. We had a high low, we had a strong low, we had a high back here. So it was a very interesting point that we saw NAS break out of, retouch, and then continue going up. So this is a really good level for us to confirm that we stay up. Like I do not want to see NAS go below this. I would like it to see come close to it, 22, like 111, 15, 110, something like that, but I don't want to see it break this. And of course, I'm looking right now just advantage. So if you're on different brokers, you have to compare the numbers, right? Same thing for futures. But it gives you guys a basis, an idea, right? I don't want to see it break this because if it breaks this, then it has the potential to come down back to the previous highest day at 22,050. And if it breaks that, then it has the potential to come down and come down to at least 2200. Then we could see it come up. So if it wants to go down, sure, it'll go down, break this, go down, break this, go down. And at this point, I think it should stop. At this point, I don't think it should be coming down because for everything else, like we retraced nicely here. Like we took care of that part. Like to me, this is done. It's taken care of. So if it wants to, sure. If it breaks, then at that point, we're going to continue to come back way down here into the 21,720s. And I think it's just, there's no reason for it. Unless there's something major that's going to happen when Trump speaks, when the housing market comes out, if it really does come out at from -12 to -1, like there has to be a lot of reasons, something like that with the news that's coming, or where it's like, it's -12, projected -1, but guess what? Now it's -25. Like it's just something major like that has to happen for NAS to really break down. At this point, with everything's going on, and Rich and I have spoken about this in the past as well. I hate to say this out loud, but NAS is just going to continue going up, right? There's going to be sell opportunities because you guys know I love to sell. So yes, even on its way up, we're going to be able to sell on its way up. It's not a problem, but of course, I would just like to see it go down, down, down because we have more opportunities to sell than to buy. But really with everything going on, technology and age, tariffs, this, that, everything that we've been looking at, there's no reason why NAS should go down. NAS should continue going up at this point. We should continue to hit some higher highs. We saw the same thing happen with gold hit higher highs. So I'm just expecting the same thing as Rich is looking at those highs, but I'm really excited that if we do get like 1,000 pip drop, and then it comes up, and then it comes down, and it breaks this 22,100, like that's exciting for me because now we could look for some big monster opportunity sales, at least one, two good drops for then have it to come back up, right? And then be able to catch some Liberty buys here. But I'm excited, guys, to be honest. We have a good set of news coming out. We have obviously a good set of tools coming out with the Liberty scanner, some more stuff cooking too. So there's good tools to be able to manage this market right now. There's good news coming out. NAS is set at a good position where it ended up last week. It was amazing last week, and that's crazy. I think that's something we could like the last little part before we go on to the next part, right? But that's a super important and why I want to touch the importance of RR and kind of do that bonus point, right? Rich's trade, like it was about Friday, was just madness, right? With everything what happened there, which shout out, like I added some sprinkle, added some change. I put in the chat. My stop loss was 100 pips more. And I survived. I hit TP1 and TP2, but it was just a crazy market. Like last week for the first time, and I'm all about transparency, guys. For the first time in over 2 years now that I've been doing this fully professional in front of a crowd for an actual company as an educator, for the first time, I won 8 trades and I lost 8 trades. For the first time, guys. For the first time, it was my worst week. But the craziest part is I actually made 60 pips more this week than what I did the prior week. And the prior week, I was like 80 something percent. So it's just the importance of RRs. And with Rich's trades, we see that, right? Sure, you're going to hit a stop loss on one or two, but then when that one hits TP4, TP5, you're set for the next 5, 6 trades. That's just how it is. Same thing with my trade alerts. We lost 2, 3 trades on the live session, and then literally one trade that hit TP3 took care of that plus some. So we're going to talk a little bit more on that, obviously, importance, because we're here for the long run, guys. Rich and I, we did the YouTube channel right now. These calls on the YouTube channel just started. My YouTube channel is basically brand new. Rich's YouTube channel is like really pushing into it, bro. Probably like 6 months, a little bit like that. So it's like, we're not new to this, guys. We've been doing this for a very long time, 5 plus 6 years. And that's why. So we want to make sure that obviously we're going to bring you awesome trades that the market gives. We provide. We're working on giving you guys obviously technology. Shout out to Luisito to be able to work on this to give you guys tools. We're keeping up on trends with YouTube and all that stuff. But the most thing that we could give you guys, the valuable thing is that knowledge to make sure you guys are here for the long run. So 5 years from now, you are still doing the same thing. You're still trading, but now you're at a different position where you're wanting to be at in life with that knowledge, right? But that's it for me. What else do we got, Rich? What else do we got? I think we got.
Yeah. I know we're about like 25 minutes in. We've currently hit like 171 on the live as of right now. So it would definitely take a good push for us to hit the goal. Again, even if we don't hit the goal right now, at the end of the day, like you guys are getting more than the value is like more than the value of the funded account is the value you get from preparing for the week and being able to take great trades and making money like that. But obviously, if you guys really want the funded challenge, we can push for that goal before we wrap up here. One thing I wanted to talk about really quickly, just because I haven't talked on this in a little bit. How many of you guys, I'm going to start a poll here. How many got into Peloton stock? I'm going to put it in here. And we'll start a poll. So I want to see like how many people got into this. At the end of the day, guys, I am not a licensed financial advisor. Anything that we talk about on these sessions is never financial advice in any shape or form. These are just things that we personally do. This is more like entertainment. We'll call it entertainment for everybody here. But I wanted to see about Peloton. I know there's a lot of people who are new. So that's the thing, you know. I've talked about Peloton a long time ago. So I won't take up too much time, but, you know, just to switch up the vibe a little bit, since we already talked about NAS, I'm going to share screen here really quickly. So Peloton, if you guys don't know what Peloton is, this is like basically a fitness based company. They came out with those like stationary bikes that had the screen that had like a whole leaderboard, and they had those interactive trainers. It was something that really blew up a lot during COVID. If we actually go back historically, we'll see the company just like literally during COVID launch and rise. I mean, it launched like you'll see the stock here since 2019. And then during 2020, March right here, this thing just exploded into all-time highs of like $170 a share. Now, obviously, me and Brent, we do, like CFD trading on TradeLocker, MetaTrader, position trading on Nasdaq. But we also talk about like cryptos and a stock portfolio from time to time. These are different types of plays that are more like long term. You're not gonna get that daily action. This is just where we like park some of our income to grow, over the course of months, a year, a couple years, whatever the case is, right? So diversifying. If you guys recall when we did our, intro to 2025 call on the Sunday Market Outlook, we talked about the importance of a couple things. Number one was obviously, acquiring max funding, right? So using things like TradexMastery, going for a 200K account, leveraging our trade alerts, leveraging our strategies. So that way you guys are able to, again, take advantage of capital, right? And being able to pull whatever you can, right? Even if it's 1 or 2% a month on a 200K account, you're talking about $2,000 to $4,000. Like that is literally people's mortgages, car payments. Like $2,000 to $4,000 a month for you guys here can absolutely lift so much pressure off of you. So obviously we have Lamborghini dreams and all those great things, and at least I do, and some of us do. But let me tell you, like peace of mind supersedes any material stuff, right? And to be able to pay your car, your house, those type of things, a 200K account, 2% a month does that. That's crazy to think about, right? So that was the first thing. We also talked about, affiliate marketing, taking advantage of Akashex, taking advantage of TradeX, Trident, all of the partnership programs that we have for you guys to be able to use your influence the same way that me and Brent are doing to, again, create another stream of income off of this industry. And then diversification. I always give my flowers to people like Armin, that give us crypto plays over the next, crypto bull run probably throughout this year. Brent has called out some really great positions as well on Sunday Market Outlooks that we saw. I think maybe it was like October, September, a couple months ago. But yeah, this is a play that is in the stock market, right? So you guys, whether you go through Robinhood, Uphold, Schwab, Cash App, whatever, you guys can literally get this stock. And this is a stock that I've been talking about again for a long time. So for those that are, not so seasoned with us here, you probably don't even know about this play because it's been a while. I got in at $3.47, right? So roughly 350. And so, I mean, I've been damn near tripled my investment for a while now. So I'm like coasting, but obviously there's still, I think, room to take advantage of, this opportunity if you guys decide to. All right. Again, my entry is a lot better than where it's at right now, but the projections that I always had for this was to get back into that $55 to $60 range, maybe even a little bit higher, like 70. I don't know if this company would ever hit all-time highs again. That's not even my game plan, to be quite honest with you. My whole thought process was that, we had hit all-time highs during COVID, had basically a massive crash on this stock. And then they did a couple different things. They partnered with Costco. They had a TJ Watt commercial that went viral. They changed leadership. They got the person that ran the Apple Fitness, and they got the one of the head of Ford Motor Company. So they brought a lot of executives, and they just like really been rebranding, I guess, in a way. Not really rebranding, but you know what I'm saying? Like they've been reinstilling life. And so point is, from 350 to my targets at 55.60, it's like a 20x play. And I mean, that's the type of plays I want to get into. And we usually see that with cryptos. There's not that many times where we could see that with stocks. Stocks are typically a little bit more, they don't give that crazy of a return. It just depends if you find the right play. So for me, again, like we kind of really found support at that $7.50 range, $8 range. Over the last 2 weeks, we've seen that, respecting that range, we've basically had two very bullish weeks back to back, respecting that level. And my next target will be about $18 a share to get back up to above this high. Again, market structure wise and everything, we've already seen the market, shift structure here, break structure here, and now maintain this level. So from a technical standpoint, it's nice. And then from a fundamental standpoint, all of the actual decisions the company has made recently over the past several months kind of support the technicals as well. So basically from like $10 a share to 18 would be almost doubling your investment if it gets there. Again, this is not financial advice. And then long term from 10 to the 50 target will be like a 5x. Who knows if it'll ever do it? Who knows if it'll take a year? I don't know. Again, I have a certain amount of income for crypto, stock plays, things that I know I could just park it. That's better than a savings account, in my opinion. And I'm willing to lose the whole investment. That's the way I roll with this. I'm willing to lose everything I put into this play, all my crypto different plays, right? Because of the potential of the return. So I wanted to talk on that because, again, I know some people don't know about it, and we have to find a way to fill some time here for the live. So yeah, man, that's a play I'm in. So FYI, if you want to look into it, do your own research, whatever the case is, you can do that. But yeah, other than that, I don't know if Brent, you have any crypto stuff you want to kind of hit on. I know Bitcoin is something that I'm still waiting for it to come down to the mid-70s, but it's been holding for now, so I don't know.
Yeah, no, we're still looking good on ADA. Obviously, that's the one that you mentioned we called back in September. So I called a buy in September for ADA, overall going for $3. But obviously, we took our first payouts around when we doubled it. We got in at 30 something, whatever cents or less, doubled it. We got our money out, left it, came back down. That's when it shot up at that point to $1.30. So we had plenty of room to be able to go there. And if you're still just holding whatever profits you have there, it's awesome. You're still good because you still almost triple your investment still to this day. And I still see this going long anyway. So we're cool there. I mean, if you missed that bus, well, there's still more. Obviously, that's the cool thing that the buyback bus actually does come back for crypto, not for sales, but it does for crypto. So as you can see, there's plenty of opportunities to come back in each time. I spoke about that on the Bitcoin side of things too. A couple Sunday outlooks a while back, but that's opportunity, of course, here. Like even then, it's not looking like a bad place even at that point if you wanted to come in. Not that I'm actively looking at it, but just gives you that perspective, right? That you're never too late for things sometimes. XLM is the main one that has right now all of my attention. Is XLM. Where did that go? Wow. 1 second here. Why did my drawings disappear? Oh, that sucks.
You probably have a different layout selected because I know Lewis was working maybe on your stuff.
Yeah. Damn it, Luisito. So let me refresh, guys. Okay. Well,
You know what I'm saying, right? Like the other layouts that you have saved, maybe
no, I had
on
it on
the top.
Coinbase. I literally had it right now, but once you were talking about it, I was like, let me make sure everything was there, and it literally had the drawing right there. Uh,
Uh,
let's see here. Okay, guys, no worries. Well, what we're looking for here on XLM was the one that I called already a while back. We needed to go to 18 to 20 cents. There's already a drawing. I have to figure out where that drawing went. But there was already a quick drawing basically where it's already doing a harmonic pattern pretty much here to where it does the bat one right there. And then once it touches that 18, we should see it skyrocket. So it's been doing great. Last Sunday, the Sunday outlook call, when I mentioned this play, I did tell you guys, hey, if you have the opportunity, depending on where you are, like here in the States, there's not many brokers that allows that. But for those that were in the UK and stuff like that, you could have sold at 50 cents. I told you guys once it breaks 50 cents, you could sell and take it down at least to 25 cents. So it went down super close to 25. Still are obviously in profits if you are still selling. For many of us here in the United States, we can't do that. We can only just buy. So we're waiting really for that. Anywhere from 20 to 18 cents is my point of entry. And I want to take that all the way to $4.20. The target is still April, May to see that happen, see that big jump. Same thing for ADA. At that time, ADA should do that same move at least to $3, if not more, to break that higher high that happened in the past. And then Chainlink is still a mess, guys. As you can see, I've been drawing left and right and trying to figure out where's like a really good entry for it. I still think there's room for Chainlink to drop a little bit more, but I don't know if it's just half my brain that wants it to drop more. Like I'm trying to talk to it and convince myself for it to come at least to like $7, $8 at least. I would love for it to come back in the day when I bought it for the first time, way down here at 20 cents. But at least if we get that $8, $7, that'd be a really good opportunity to buy Chainlink. Again, ADA, waiting for it. If you're in ADA already, you are chill, you are coasting, you are good. We might see ADA drop again to around 50 cents. That'd be another good opportunity there to buy if you did not get in the first time. And like I said, XLM, it's getting super close, guys. Super, super close. I'll go ahead and redraw all of that, how I had exactly the Elliott waves with the harmonic pattern already set on it and giving me that number. And I will screenshot it and send it to the groups, or I'll post it on Instagram or whatever so you guys can see that drawing.
Cool, man.
Yes,
Cool,
sir.
cool, cool. I know we had some people ask about gold in the chat box, and we do have a little bit of time, so I don't mind talking on that just for a
Yeah.
sec here.
Yeah.
So let me share screen. You know, obviously, guys, me and Brent have been, well, especially me, away from gold completely. Brent is, you're like, I feel like you're like 90-10 Nas gold at this point. You're like,
Yeah.
but what's it called? For gold, we did see that we ended up on Friday kind of making a nice little push back to the downside. Honestly, man, I feel like 3,000 is inevitable. I just feel like you know, we might get some pullbacks along the way right now. There's some, you know, weekly fair value gap imbalances here. But for the most part, just looking at gold over the top, any bearish action that we have at the moment is just going to be temporary, in my opinion. We do see on like this 3-hour time frame, this wick right here is going to be pretty telling how we react to this to start the week. The reason being is because we see that this wick right here kind of looked like, you know, we were continuing the bearish pressure that we had from this initial, you know, drop from 29.40. And then from here, we kind of made one last little strong impulse to the downside before we started shooting up. Now, we didn't break a new high. If we would have broken a new high here after having this, then this would be a no-brainer buy zone for me. I still do think in general, though, we have this massive fair value gap imbalance from this big drop to end last week. So in general, you know, this is a higher time frame. This is a 3-hour, but we should see gold buys within this zone to take us up at least to 29.05, 29.10, maybe even 29.20, somewhere in this imbalance area. So what I would do, again, 3-hour time frame is where we see that wick that drove price up. You know, that's a very clear like manipulation, you know, sign, right? Where we had price dropping, one last strong push to the downside where we immediately rejected and closed higher and then went on a rally. Again, the last thing I would have really liked is if after that we would have broken and closed a new high. We didn't. So that would be the only cause for, I guess, not concern, but that you could say, oh, if we lose, it'll be probably because of that. But if we drop to something like the 15-minute, the 30-minute, we can get a little bit of more of a refined area. So if we actually drop this down here, we actually did tap this. So again, we're refining the 3-hour zone into a 30-minute. You can see, again, I'm looking at these wicks that drives price down and ends up shifting structure higher above these, you know, highs. So we can see how price literally like tapped into it and rejected, right? I'm going to refine this a little bit more, 15-minute. Okay, so we could get down to this wick as well. So like if you were to go for buys, this would definitely be like that stop loss area, like at this low. Again, I'm not personally gonna trade it or call any signals. Like I don't touch gold anymore, guys. You know, it is what it is. Um, the 30-minute, I like that this area. The other refined area would be like right here at 2871. This would be like the absolute like most sniper entry if this ends up respecting for this like blue or something. So either buying now or buying in here, like somewhere in this general vicinity, we should see gold come back up to like 2910. That's my thoughts on it. Again, I'm not actively trading it. I'm not gonna call a signal, but the concepts that I teach, they play out regardless if it's Nas, Bitcoin, Forex, whatever. Again, market structure was very bearish. We see that last impulse with a market structure shift that led to this big rally. So this is that area of demand that kind of caused this big push. And so looking at the last down candle area, it's basically here. Again, we've already seen some rejections. We should bounce off of there. That's the way I see it. But I don't know if Brent, if you even want to analyze gold or give your thoughts on it. I don't know if you're really trading it like that nowadays, but
I wasn't expecting to talk about it today. I was waiting actually for next week. So this
yeah.
drop that gold took was beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Sucked because I said tap the trade. My stop loss was 33. It went to 33.16 and then a freaking tank for 180 pips, right? But with that drop, at least I was like, okay, damn, that sucked. We lost the tap the trade by like nothing. But then I was like, okay, wait, like this is actually good because one, I was right. And two, it's actually breaking. Like it's not just going for a quick little 1 to 1, 1 to 2. Like it's gone. Now I love what Rich said, right? As far as it not breaking this top, this high, super important. Like that has to capture your attention right there of it not breaking the high, just like its attention of not breaking this low. Now, it's not that it didn't break it, it's just the day ended. So with that, when the new day opens, will it come down and break this, creep its way down? Or will it say, cool, this green candle, and then I plan to keep on going up, but my day ended, and now we're going to keep on going up. I know we say when we trade news, we don't fall for the smoke, right? As far as what the news is. So I'm not saying like at that moment you're supposed to trade it, but at the same time, when you're looking at gold, you're looking at certain types of news, you have to pay attention for the long run of it. So this week we have a lot of housing. And that biggest one that I mentioned is the housing as far as the market index for the housing coming from -12, -20, -30, interest rates being hiked up like ever, historic breaking interest rates being super high on housing. Will we see that big shift? That's one of the biggest things that President Trump said that he wanted to do is bring the interest rates back down again, bring for the banks for as far as like your interest rate on banks, bring that down, like be able to give more assistance for housing, all that stuff, be able to purchase a house, things of that nature, right? So if that does impulse housing again, that gives the dollar strength because you're pushing away from recession, meaning gold would drop. So it's one of those things to where it's so hard to where like half of you, you're like, well, you can't follow the smoke of the news, but then the other half is like, well, damn, look at the news though. Like this news is actually not your normal news. Like it can actually make a big difference to where we could drop. If it does drop, easily gold should be able to come back down to these levels till we started hearing like here back in November, October, November, we saw this high of 2790-ish, right? And then it dropped until we finally kind of struggled again into this area. I got really close, dropped again, got really close, dropped again. And then from here, we did finally that breakout on February 3rd, right? And since then, it's been going up for the entire month. I think this could be the perfect opportunity because of the type of news that we have. If it does break this low, respects it and keeps on dropping, we should see a very good bear rally that we've been waiting for months, almost for an entire year, at least to this point where we had that breakout. Once we have that breakout, then we could probably see it come a little bit lower and depend what it wants to do to take care of this low as well, and this low and this low and this low. As I mentioned, like gold needs to drop back. Like I don't think at this point, like no matter where the economy goes, because you have inflation and this and that, I mean, I'm not expecting to say, I'm not naive to say like, oh yeah, gold is definitely coming back down to $1,000. Like, you never know, but like at this point, it kind of took that next step, and the new 1,700 is now 2,000, right? Or it's something like that. You know what I mean? But I think I really don't think we should keep on going up. And that could be another trick that we see, right? That's because like what Rich mentioned, 3,000 institutional number, big number. I almost kind of look at it as like what's happening with Bitcoin, right? It could touch 3,000 just so when it touches 3,000 retail traders start to buy because of the FOMO of it's going up, it's going up. You need to grab some gold now for the long run because it's never going to come back. Just like with Bitcoin, when it reached 100,000, what did everybody do? Everybody went to buy Bitcoin, and then it dropped at 100,002. It just tanked all the way back to 96. So it's like it could either continue to fake people out here to start getting into buys because we're hunting and we're so stuck on that institutional number drop. It could hit it, pretend it's going, and then completely tank, or from here it could begin this rally. I would prefer it begin the rally at this point. Give it what it needs to give. Go off the news for the housing market. That's good news for the dollar. Makes the dollar strong. Everything that's going on with the tariffs, this and that. It makes sense for gold to finally drop. But then again, the candles never lie, and that's what we have to go off at the end of the day.
Facts, bro.
For me.
All right. All right, all right. Yeah, guys. So for the most part, I think we covered a lot today. You know, gold, a little bit of crypto, some stocks, obviously Nas mainly. We got some really cool announcements with the indicators for my strategy and Brent's strategy coming out very, very soon. Yeah, man, I want to give a shout out to Lewis again for getting that done for us. I want to give a shout out to you guys who are on the stream as always, supporting and making, you know, Akashex what it is, which is the best trading platform in the world right now, man. And we have the numbers to really show for it. I mean, we've seen ranks after ranks after ranks popping in this business right now. Affiliates are, you know, absolutely going crazy. And the reason why they're able to do that, I truly believe, is because in Akashics, we got results, man. You know, like we just day in and day out, you know, Brent just broke it down for you guys himself. Even in a quote unquote worst week ever in 2 years, you're still net positive in pips. And I haven't heard nobody crying in no chats. So something we're doing right, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we do. And you know, obviously I got to give credit to God for making it possible to put us in these positions and you know, be able to live this type of lifestyle because, you know, a lot of people don't have it like that right now. But we are in a winning season, so we're grateful for it. We wish you the same to everybody that's here in the chats, man. Let's make this year our year, of course. Can we buy a Koshik stock on Coinbase? That's a really good question. If that was the case, I'd definitely be pumping some money in there. No financial advice, but I'd do that.
Wow, it's good
uh,
everything.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. I mean, we didn't hit the goal today for the 300, but it's okay. You know, at the end of the day, you know, I already know this channel, these lives are gonna get into like thousands at some point because of how far we've come to this point. So it's just a matter of us continuing to be consistent and giving you guys value because I know that ultimately it's gonna grow from you guys sharing it with your people. Um, and organically we're just gonna continue to grow because you know our goal is at the end of the day to help you guys you know, not just get paid, but, you know, really be consistent, you know, grow as people, investors, entrepreneurs, to be multifaceted, right? It's not just about the charts, it's about everything, man. Brent, are you going to be doing Mindset Monday tomorrow?
Yes, I will have Mindset Monday tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going to stick to 2 o'clock. I think 2 o'clock makes sense. I know there was not a lot of people there, but it was the first time it was going back into from Instagram to this. But we'll have it on my YouTube channel. We'll have Mindset Monday again tomorrow, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Tuesday, no live session for me. Wednesday, Thursday, yes, live session for me. And then most likely Friday, I'll do a makeup session.
Got you, bro. All right, cool. Yeah, so guys, please make sure if you're not subbed, Brent, if you can drop a comment in the chat box, that way they're able to see your profile. I'll pin you there. Make sure you guys sub to not just my channel, but obviously to Brent's channel. We want to give you guys many thanks for helping him grow that because You're at like almost 500 already, bro, if you didn't already crack it. So you've been like more than doubling it up in like a week. So that's awesome to see, bro. We want to make sure you get to 1K plus so we can become official YouTube partners, bro. So I already know that's done. That's gonna happen like nothing. So again, appreciate you guys for subbing to both of our channels and for always showing love and trusting in us to get this done for you guys. But yeah, we got a lot of exciting things. We got a brand new week ahead of us. Um, I'm like thinking of events and stuff, but I'm so happy that we're not flying for a little bit. I feel like we've been flying nonstop for the last couple months. Um, so yeah, man, that's really it. I'm gonna let you guys go. Hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday afternoon or evening, depending on where you're tuning in from. Brent, thank you again, man, for being here. And heading into next week, guys, we'll continue the goal of 300 for the next funded challenge giveaway. So until we hit that 300 goal, we won't up it, but we'll keep it there until we get it done. So we have a whole week to promote, get your armies plugged in, make sure that we flood it up. I just think that a lot of people in Akashics don't know that this exists. I feel like if everybody knew in Akashics knew that we were doing this on YouTube, we'd have like 1,000 people already. So I know it's gonna happen. We just got to get the word out there, guys. This is a free call that we do to people that are in Akashics or not in Akashics, right? Because the goal is not just to make this an exclusive thing for Akashics members like we do in the platform, but for a lot of people who want to get a vibe for how are Rich and Brent, what type of value do they provide? Why should I even get into Akashics? And the fact that you guys, again, are here taking your time on a Sunday to be here just shows that, the work works, right? What we talk about helps you guys elevate your trading and whatnot. So again, man, just grateful for all y'all. And for Brent, we'll leave it there and call it a day. Appreciate you guys. I'll see y'all on the chats. If you're in Akashics, I'll see you guys on the live sessions as well. Brent's Mindset Monday. I'll be doing my Spanish sessions tomorrow for my Gente Latina. And then we'll see you guys next Sunday again for our next edition. All right. Much love, guys. Have a great day. And as